right, everybody. And the news of the night. Have I torn my Achilles?
That's rough.
No. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers did not, but it did not look good based on the replay with his calf.
That's 100% torn Achilles.
It sure looked like I don't want
to. Did you guys see there was like a new view where it completely shows like the muscle just like popping?
Yeah,
I saw that. It looked like the Kevin Durant.
They showed it? Really?
Yeah. That I saw that thing pop out. It was like, oh gosh, not good. And it didn't look like a bad ankle. I didn't see the ankle like bend, like flip or anything like that. But tough news tonight for the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. That could be a career ender. That would suck.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at 39, he's going to come back at what, 40 off of Achilles?
That's tough.
Knowing Rodgers, he probably would want to come back.
The only thing that's good about this is like he's a quarterback, so he's not moving too much anyway.
Yeah.
But
it's still the rehabilitation he's going to have to go through. It's going to be a lot. And at his age, I don't know if he wants to do that. What sucks is when we did bold predictions, I said he was going to get hurt and Zach Wilson was going to take over the team.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
But I said it halfway through the year, not week.
Yeah. not in the first 5 minutes of the opening drive. Yeah. Will Martinez, feel bad for you, buddy, but you've had some deals offered your way and you're turning them all down. You're not in a great position to be turning all these deals down. I heard the deal you turned down to Romo there. That sounded like a pretty good deal. I think
not too bad. I didn't think it was bad.
That one.
I looked at his team though. He has CJ Stroud on the bench, so he'll just.
Yeah, I know. That's how that. Yeah, but I mean,
his running back situation's a little. He's got what? Calvin or Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to take the loss
tonight after Breece Hall. Man, Breece Hall looked good.
So not surprisingly, Robert Rothberg is jumping around the room like.
Hey, Robert, let me tell you something about the Giants here. Let's get on the Giants here. He says, "I thought
I have a comment
the dugout."
Go ahead. Dan. I have a comment.
Hey, this is what 500 teams do, Robert. They're due for a 5-6 game losing streak now. They do have to go on the road after Wednesday. They've got 4 in Colorado. Remember, they lost. Who did they lose to start off this crazy losing streak on the road about a month ago across the bay?
The worst team in the major leagues.
Not National League, Major Leagues.
Yeah, so they lost 2 in Oakland. They're going to go to Colorado. Yeah, they've won 16 of 17. But this is a type of team that could go into Colorado and lose 3 or 4 easily. We'll see. Hey, they're doing what they have to do. They're beating the teams they've got to beat. They're 4-0. They're 74-70. They came through in the bottom of the 10th. They got the
titanium.
But I do think this team, they didn't make up any ground on Arizona. They did make up ground on Miami tonight. So that's a positive. Let's see what they actually did here with let me pull that up here. I'll show you the up to the minute standings in the wild card race here in the National League. They're 1.5. They're tied with Miami. Identical record with Miami. Let's take a look at that right now. And there you have it. Okay. So it's basically, 4 teams, Arizona, Giants, Marlins, Reds fighting for 2 spots. Or 1 spot, excuse me. 4 teams fighting for 1 spot. And, it's probably going to come down. Those 2 games in Arizona is going to be critical.
Mm-hmm.
If one of those teams wins both, especially if Arizona wins both and the Giants go in behind, That's going to really finish him off probably. But we'll see what happens.
There's some saying negative Nancy.
Before.
Just look, how many times have they done this?
Gosh, Robert,
how many times have the Giants?
Robert needs a timeout. I'm sorry. Do you see the comment he just put up?
Yeah, I see that. Exactly. It's what I'm talking about.
Run the table means? That means they're not going to lose. They're going to go 18-0. Are you serious? Robert, tell me you're not serious that you think they can go 18-0.
Yeah, it's just how many times have we seen it before?
I want to see it, Robert.
This season where they've won a couple games in a row. They've won 4 or 5 games in a row, and they look really good, right? They look like a postseason team. They look like a contender. And then all of a sudden, someone says something.
Until they play a good team.
They're looking really good until they play a good team, and then they just go back to who they are. They're a 500 team.
You know how I know? I think we all thought that Kapler lost the clubhouse like weeks ago. I know he lost the clubhouse tonight. You know why? That was the most pathetic, saddest celebration of a pennant-winning walk-off win that I've seen in a long time.
It was pretty bad.
Did you watch that? I mean, in September, if you're fighting for a playoff spot and you get a walk-off win like that, you're going absolutely nuts. It was such a half-ass. I saw Peterson out there for like a few seconds, and then it just dispersed.
Yeah, they look like they're kind of
watch it again. It was so
you're pretty good fake. At that, Lowe's. Yeah.
I'm very good at reading body language, and I'm telling you, this team, they're happy for the win, but I mean, in September, that is a huge.
The rookies
party.
Are excited. Sable was excited.
Yeah, those veterans were just like, whatever.
These veterans don't get that pumped up. I don't. Yeah, I don't. No, I think the mix of their vets.
It's about as unemotional a team as I've seen in a long time.
Well, look who their leader is,
and for what that's worth, they don't like playing for Kapler. They don't. They're doing their jobs. They're professionals. Some are more professional.
Yeah, and the crowd looked horrible tonight. It looked like a ghost town.
The crowd is just.
What does that tell you?
Even the loudness. Yeah, even the loudness. I mean, we've all seen the Giants in their years where they were vying for championships and even just a playoff team. And that stadium, when they do things late in games, is loud. That crowd was just like, whatever.
Do you guys know the attendance?
Did he get timed out? Did Robert get timed out?
He might have. As soon as you said it, someone may have done it.
I was like, run the table.
Did you guys guys know what the attendance was tonight?
I think they announced it like 20 or something, but it looked like about 15, 14.
20,705.
Oh,
wow. It was the third lowest of the whole season.
I think it didn't look more than 15 to me.
Yeah.
It was empty seats, and like the majority of these seats were empty in every section.
Yep.
It's like that's just pathetic.
Robert's in timeout. That's an Eric. I put him in there.
I mean, but
here we go, Eric.
This is what we do. This is what we do in sports, whether it's baseball, basketball, football. Everybody today is talking about the Dallas Cowboys are going to be world champions this year again after week 1. Like, can anybody name me a wide receiver on the New York Giants? Anybody? Name me one. They don't have a great offense. Of course, your dominant defense is going to look outstanding, but just the overreaction to beating poor teams every single week and month and year, people do it and get all hype. Hey, the Giants are taking care of business. They're beating the Rockies and they're beating the Indians. Great.
Yep.
Great.
Yeehaw.
We'll see how they do the rest of the season. And even if they get in, guys, Rothberg and everybody that's hoping they get in, are you really going to be excited? Like, if they get in and they get swept in the first round of the playoffs, I mean, just get mauled by a good team, are you going to sit here and pat yourself on the back and buy your "We Made the Playoffs" T-shirt in 2023?
Don't forget, one of the aces is going down. Cobb ain't going to last the rest of the season.
No. Hey, how many times did the trainer come out tonight?
What was that?
I watched like an inning of the game.
I mean, I just saw it on Twitter like at least 2 times where the trainer had to go out and check.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's done. He wasn't throwing many sinkers too. It seems like that's what's putting a lot more pressure on his hip, I guess. He was throwing a lot and that splitter, he was not landing that thing. And that's his like strikeout pitch, but they're going to be there. He's definitely going to probably hit the IL.
You know, the team that nobody is talking about that is quietly starting to play really well in National League is Milwaukee. Watch out for them. They're pitching. They got three-headed monster between Woodruff, Burns, and Peralta. They are shutting good teams down. That
kid in the outfield,
Felix. Yeah, everybody's talking about Atlanta, the Dodgers, and the Cubs, but man, watch out for Milwaukee. Like they might have the best pitching staff in the National League.
Good point there.
They're finally starting to hit the ball a little bit.
Well, they also got the Cubs right on their tail too, so they don't want to lose that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good race.
What's going on, Dan?
Just scanning fantasy.
Oh man, that's funny. It's funny. It's as soon as Rogers went down, I sent a trade right off the rip to Will. Right off the rip.
Yeah. Will, that's Will Martinez. It looks like he might be tough to trade with.
Yeah, he says he has no leverage. It's true, he has. He goes, yeah, you also need Joe Burrow. That ain't happening.
The only thing
you can't just go off one bad week. Guys are going to have bad weeks. It just happens.
Exactly.
I mean, Josh Allen's going to be great. He had a bad week. Jalen Hurts, he didn't score a ton of points yesterday.
Lamar Fields, Joe
Will
Burrow,
B.
like some of the best quarterbacks had really. Week 1 is always a little weird, man.
Yeah,
you can't say that about Justin Fields, Los. I won't let you say that about Justin Fields.
Who has Fields?
He didn't have a good game.
I don't think he's going to have a great.
Yeah, he's not good.
He's not that good.
No, he's good at. He gets you a lot of yards running the ball, and he
gets you points.
He in the pocket.
Yeah.
He
gets you points running.
You got to understand something, guys. I'm not saying he's a good quarterback. I'm saying he's a good fantasy quarterback. This is what we're talking about.
He's not bad in fantasy, right?
Justin Fields was the hottest quarterback the last 8 weeks of the year last year. He was running for 150. If you throw for 200 yards, like that's a bonus, man, because he's giving you 150 yards, which is bonus.
Dan, I know that was you,
he's a good fantasy quarterback. That's what I got.
Trade offers are coming in hot.
Oh, I don't think that one's from me. That one's not from me.
The Sharks can smell blood.
Los, did you see? I'll
give you one. Bears,
Will, did any of you guys see the Claypool's blocking?
No.
Oh, it was atrocious. I mean, like he
couldn't play on the Niners, that's for sure.
He wasn't trying at all. Like he wasn't giving any effort.
Hey Scott, real quick here. About the record against winning teams. Have you seen the recent history of what the Giants did against Texas, Tampa Bay, Atlanta twice, and the Phillies? Do you think that was a good winning record, or you think that was a good record against winning teams?
He's probably going to go back for the whole year and throw out some analytics, just like his president of operations, and he's going to probably Scott Fowler will say that. Against winning teams, the Giants are 1 game over 500. So he'll say on paper and in a computer that spits it out that they technically have a good record against winning teams. With your own eyes, Scott Fowler. Yeah. With your own eyes, Scott Fowler. What did you see in the last month when they played good teams? What did you see? Because it doesn't matter what happened the first half of the season, because the record and those numbers that you're putting up, a lot of it had to do with the first half of the year. We're talking about now. This team now against good teams sucks. They don't play well. Mm-hmm. They beat up bad teams. That's what they're doing.
Thank you for the $2. So I appreciate that.
Thank you for the $1.99. Round it up to $2, man. But You can throw all them stats out that you want. You're doing nothing different than what Farhan and what Gabe does. It's analytical stuff. So, hey,
What's
if
up,
you
Val?
think they got a great chance to win the World Series, have at it, buddy. I'm a little
It's
bit
the
more
same thing that
realistic on
Kapler said when he pinch hit Slater for Meckler. Oh, in his whole career, he's been a great
Right.
pinch hitter, but in the last 20-something at bats, he
It was
didn't have a
garbage.
hit.
Spencer Alsey with $5. What are your thoughts on Beam Team, Dan? Shasha going to put them over the top?
What are your thoughts on the Beam team? Oh, on the
Sacramento, I think.
no, Kings.
Yep.
They'll be a good team. They'll be right up there competing for the Pacific Division title again. They'll be a chance to get in the playoffs, but I still think they're a player or so away. I think they're just lacking the true superstars. They got De'Aaron Fox. I like De'Aaron Fox a lot. Sabonis, he's pretty good in the regular season. I'm not high on Sabonis in the playoffs. I just think he's, I think you need two really legitimate stars, maybe closer to three, at least 2.5. And I think that's where you're missing. So, but it's a solid team on the right path.
Hey, what do you think
We
about
did
this?
answer your super chat. I just did. I said you spit out some numbers. Great. I just answered it. Robert Rothberg. Yeah, you do overreact. I love your passion, though. I love your passion for your team. I'll never put you down for that. But I think our issue with you is not that you have a passion for the Giants, but that you're focused only on the Giants. You don't see any other team. That is, I think, you don't see, how good other teams are, how good other players are. You just focus completely on the Giants. That's your team, but you got to be a baseball fan too, and you got to recognize. My God, we're talking about MVPs and Acuna versus Betts. Mr. Matt Olson has 50 homers,
50 home runs.
and
Yeah, I know.
128 RBIs.
That's
and
crazy.
Hitting
I know.
279. He is in the running. And we still got 3 weeks left of baseball to go. So 279, 50 homers, and 100. Hey, I love me some RBIs. Anybody that can drive in runs is at the top of my list because that's old school baseball. I don't give a crap about OPS and all that other stuff. I like dudes that when there's ducks on the pond, get them in. That's what superstar players do, especially when you're hitting in the middle of the lineup. Who was the leading RBI guy on the Giants, by the way? Anybody want to take a guess on what that amount
50
is?
or 60, whatever.
Is it 50? Is it 50? Plug that into your
50, 60.
plug that into your database, Scott Fowler. The Giants are going to go into postseason with their leading RBI guy.
Seniors throwing out all the sack guys are coming out tonight. Kings will have a better record this year. Senior, anybody want to bet Kings have a better record than the Dubs? What would you have done? So let's see what
they may. I like the Kings. It's going to be close. We'll see how healthy the Warriors can stay. It'll be close.
Somebody asked me, do I know who Sasha is? Spencer Alsey. Yeah, he's the MVP of the European League. I know who he is. He's good. But I still don't think it's enough for the Kings to get to the NBA Finals. They could be.
What's funny is we're in here every night doing our show and talking Giants wins, losses, back and forth. I don't remember seeing Scott Fowler in this show between August 10th and August 31st.
No, he's come around just recently. But hey, Scott,
okay.
I was doing some numbers here in against those winning teams when it started with that Texas series, all the way until the last Atlanta series. The Giants went 5-10, 5-10 against Texas, Tampa Bay, Atlanta twice, and Philly. And if you want to add in the two scrub teams ahead of that, that means they went 6-14. And that's
Don't
not
forget they lost.
that's
They
not
got swept by the
indicative.
Cubs. They got
Right.
swept by the Cubs.
And they haven't even
They lost
gotten.
to the
Yeah,
Phillies.
I'm just going by that long, almost month worth of baseball.
Doesn't
Which
even
is a
have
good-
to
which
be
is a good
against
indicator.
teams over 500. You could just look at their record
But I'm
in
just
the last
answering
month.
Scott Fowler and when he's talking about
No,
with,
yeah, I
with the Giants facing
Yeah.
teams with winning records. So when you're in the stretch run, that's tough. I mean, I think, but in the first half, I mean, their winning percentage over teams over 500 was amazing. I mean, it was incredible. Now you're barely scraping 500, just over 500 against those teams. That's not, you're not trend. Let's just say they're not trending in the right direction when you're trying to make a push for a playoff run.
But you see what we're doing here? We're doing what I say is done a lot the last few years in sports in general. We're lowering the bar. We're lowering expectations. So, Scott, you're saying that the Giants are good against teams over 500. So a team that's 1 or 2 games over 500 is not a good team. Do you know that? Like, what are we doing? Like, we used to hold teams that were 10, 20, 30 games over 500. Those are really good teams. So now you're saying to me that, oh my God, if the Giants played this team that's 3 games over 500 and this team that's 2 games over 500 and this game that's 6 games over 500, that those are good teams. No, they're not, dude. If you're barely at 500, a little above or a little below, you're an average team. You're an average team. What are the Giants doing against the top teams in baseball? That's what this is about.
Exactly.
That's
and here he's talking about the best offense.
The debate is whether the Giants are considered. Here's the standard. Great team, like they do in fantasy. You have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So the tier 1 baseball teams right now are probably Atlanta, Los Angeles. The Brewers are probably there.
Philadelphia
in the American League.
Phillies.
Yep.
I might put the Phillies in tier 2.
And how about this?
Oh, you're talking about tier 1? Oh, this is tier 1?
Tier 1 would be okay. Tier 1 would be
like a Romo I was reading.
Tier 1 would be who legitimately has a chance to win the World Series this year. I would say the Braves, the Dodgers, the Rangers are kind of slipping.
They might not even make the playoffs.
Orioles, the Rays.
The Mariners are very hot right now.
Seattle.
So there's about 5 or 6 teams. And then you have those tier 2 teams, the Cubs, Brewers.
Oh, wait a minute.
Phillies.
I think you got to do it over again. Start over. Tier 1.
Tier 1 is the best of the best, the cream of the crop.
Yeah, that's it. That's Atlanta and probably Baltimore in the 2 leagues. I put the Dodgers on tier 2 because of their pitching. They have no starting pitching right now except Kershaw.
Okay. So I'll try to abbreviate it and make it short. The Giants are probably tier 4. They're tier 4. So they're
put them
right
about
on the
tier
brink.
9, tier 9, calling tier 9,
I'm
tier
being
9.
nice. I'm being nice. They're about a tier 4. So if you're going to come out and say, hey, the Giants are a good team because they have a winning record against teams over 500, that's not saying much, man, because you're saying that they beat teams that are about the same as them. Great. They're an average team. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They're
And I'll
going
tell you
to
what.
finish the year a little above or a little below 500.
Hey, Scott Feller, in the chat that I just had up there, you're talking about injuries, right? I'll tell you what. You want to talk about injuries? See that guy right there in the middle with that long nose? That's where you need to focus your attention to. The reason why they have injuries is because that guy right there in the middle decided to go out there and sign guys who. What the hell is it?
What are you doing? What's that noise? Is that you, Eric?
Yeah.
But
that's the guy. That's the guy you want to focus on.
What's that noise, Eric? What were you doing? All right. No speaky, no talkie. Okay.
Scraping the chalk.
Robert, Robert, if you give your opinion, you will not be timed out if it's a reasonable opinion. But when you say the Giants are going to run the table, that means they're not going to lose the rest of the year. You got to be a little bit more objective. You can't. I know you love the Giants, but do you really think they can win their next 18 after winning 4 in a row? So you think they're going to win their final 22 ball games? Seriously, if you say yes to that, then yes, you will be timed out. No doubt about it, because that's just not that's not even that's how do I say it kindly, but that's like second grade level saying, "Oh, we're never going to lose," or my dad could beat your dad up. Oh yeah, my uncle could beat your uncle up. Come on. That's stuff you talk about in second grade when you say they're never going to lose again. If the Giants run the table, Robert, I'll give you $20,000.
And Scott Fowler.
All you got to do, Robert, if they don't run the table, and I give you $20,000, you donate $1.99. That's it. That's all you got to do. You take that,
or you come on the show on one time,
or just come on the show. Yeah.
This is the last time I'm going to talk to Scott Fowler about this, but he says only 3 teams have winning records again above 500 teams: Atlanta, Dodgers, and the Giants. I don't care about any statistics or any advanced stats about that the Giants are up there. Use your eyes. Are the Giants a tier 1 team, like Los was saying? No, they're not. Just watch the games. Have you been watching the past 2 months? Do you think that the Giants are in competition with the Dodgers and the Braves? The answer is no. All right. So don't give me any of this bullshit that they have a winning record against teams above 500. It's just they're not in the same league. They're not in the same league as it.
Are you going to tell me, Scott, that the Orioles don't have a winning record against 500 teams, or the Brewers? You said Orioles facts in your statement. How many games over 500 are the Orioles? 20? 22?
No, they're like 30,
40.
Plus.
They're 39.
Oh, they're 30 games over 500. So, Scott Fowler,
40.
You said at the end of your
40.
recent statement, facts, and you have the Atlanta, Dodgers, and the Giants. So you're telling me, Mr. Fact, that the Baltimore Orioles do not have a winning record against 500 over 500 teams. You might want to check that. And while you're at it, why don't you check the Brewers too?
Here, we'll just show them what's right going on. We'll show them right here. Take a look.
Yes, well, our standards, our fan base are low. That's what I'm
Let's
arguing.
See. Take a look here. Atlanta.
Oh, the Orioles 91 and 52. No, they can't possibly have a winning record against 500 teams or more. They just beat up bad teams.
First team to beat every team in the Major League Baseball in one season.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Tampa Bay either.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Dodgers are 4. Astros 5. Houston 6. Milwaukee 7. Toronto 8. Texas 9. Philadelphia 10. Seattle 11. Chicago 12. Arizona 13. Minnesota 14. Where are the Giants? 15. Right dead in the middle of Major League Baseball. 15 out of 30 right now. Tied with Miami. Half a game. So Giants hold a half game lead over Cincinnati, tied with Miami, a game and a half behind Arizona. They've won 4 in a row. 4 at home. Look at their home record. 42 and 31. See that right there? 42 and 31. Look at the road. 32 and 39. Look at their remaining schedule. And they've got 2 more on this homestand at home. Then they have the final 6 at home. So they have 8 games remaining at home. 8. 2 against Cleveland, 3 San Diego, 3 LA. But they have 10 on the road. 4 in Colorado, 4 in LA, and 2 in Arizona.
Could you shrink
look
that
at
screen
this-
just a little bit, Dan? Could you shrink the screen just a little bit? Yeah, widen it out. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Go ahead, Dan. Finish your point.
My point is they have 10 games at home. They have 8 remaining at home. Let's say their record is 42-31. Okay, that is 42-31. 42 divided by 73. They're playing 575 ball at home. On the road, they're 32-39. 32 divided by 71. They're playing 450 ball. If they win, they got 10 on the road. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say they win 5. That's 5 out of 10. So they win 5. And if they play 575 ball in the remaining 8 games at home, 8 games at home, that means they would win 5 of 8. 5 of 8 is actually, hold on, is 625 ball. If they won 4 of 8, you're 500. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving them 10 wins. 5 on the road, 5 at home. Gave them the benefit of the doubt on both of them. That's 10 wins. That's 84 wins. I don't think 84 wins is enough to get you in the playoffs.
Oh, I think you're being generous.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to give you another stat from last year. Who was the National League representative in the World Series last year?
Philadelphia.
What do you guys think their record against teams over 500 last year was?
I would say they were probably about 500. Not that great.
I'll say they were.
They didn't have an overly dominating record, did they?
They only won 87, I think, to get in the playoffs. I'd say they were like 8 over 500.
They were 34-47 against teams over 500. So don't tell me that. So don't tell me that the Giants are so good just because they've won. They're a game over 500 against teams against 500. All right, come on. They represented.
That's some analytical stuff.
That's some analytical. There's some analytics.
Yeah, for sure. But this is how illogical that statement is. So Scott Fowler wants to say the Giants are one of 3 teams in the National League to be over 500 against 500 over winning teams. So you'd rather have that stat than the Phillies at 79-65. I'll take the Phillies at 79-65. And when they went head to head, forget about all this. I beat this, I beat that. When they went head to head against each other, winner Phillies. When the Giants went head to head against the Cubs, winner Cubs. So miss me with all that over 500 stuff. I don't care. That's analytical. I'm trying to get away from stuff like that.
Phillies won 87 games last year and got in. 87. They beat out the Brewers by 1 game to get the final wild card.
Yes, I did say, Scott, they did suck against good teams. That's exactly what I said. And
because they do.
You're making my point for me. They suck against good teams. Your counter is, well, they beat teams over 500. A team 2 games over 500 isn't a good team, man. You're like, what? How old are you, Scott? I'm just curious because like you're telling me like a D, which used to not be a passing grade, is a good grade. Oh, I passed. I remember my kids used to say that when they brought home a D, and I said, you know what D stands for? Dumb. I don't care if it passes you. A C- used to be the minimum grade you'd get to the next grade, right? C-.
Yeah. Spencer, on this, the Giants swept the Dodgers in LA. LA had no Max Muncy. They had a couple other guys that were out. Giants were hot. Caught him at it. I'll tell you what, there's 7 left with the Dodgers. They will be lucky to win 3. of those 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just that was in the beginning of the season. Like, we're focusing on the right now. And right now, they're not a good team. Like, the Giants are over 500 right now. Do you think they're a good team? The answer is no. They're not a good team. They're an average team. They play 500 ball. They're 4 games over 500.
It's an average team. It's an average.
It's an average team. They're not a good team, but yet they're over 500. So judging teams based on their record against over 500 teams, it's not a good stat to use.
Spencer Alsey, if the Giants make the playoffs and play the Dodgers, feel free to go to your nearest bookie and please put money on the Giants. Since you want to bring up that they beat them in May, I guess that means they're going to beat them in October when they squeak into the playoffs. So have at it, my friend. Have at it.
I'm wondering what the Giants' playoff percentage is now.
They are. See, Robert, you're saying it again. This is why I say that you are overreactive. They're a dangerous team.
29.8. Huh. What's Arizona's? 50.9. Yeah, those odds change daily, obviously, but we'll see what happens.
Oh my God.
We'll see
Our
what
fan
happens.
base gets so excited when they beat horrible teams. God, man, they get so excited. All right. I said a month ago when they played real teams, their true colors were going to come out, right? Did I not say that? In early August. August 10 to August 31st is going to show what this team is about. And they shit the bed. They played against good teams and they lost. And now they're playing crappy teams. They're winning a few. And a lot of you are in here back saying that they're dangerous or they got a legitimate shot or they beat the Dodgers early in the year. Okay, guys, you're right. I'm wrong. They're a really good team. Go Giants. They'll make some noise in the playoffs. I'm serious, man. That's our fan base.
Yeah.
They've lowered the bar. They have lowered the bar, but that's okay.
Hey, what was that noise earlier? What, can you guys hear that? You hear that?
Yeah.
What was that noise? I was just scratching the mic. What was that noise earlier that was that's
Ask
you guys
Eric.
remember? Eric, do you remember what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't come from me.
Did it come from you, Eric?
Nope.
I don't know.
Did it come from Bora?
Maybe. I don't know what I did, but
Baby, Mark. Baby. Man, I miss those teams.
Hey, Los, if you want to really blame why the standards have been lowered some more, talk to MLB when they added this extra playoff stuff last year. That's the issue. Because now you got teams that really aren't playoff teams getting into the playoffs. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, but it's not just the Giants. It's not just the Giants and some of the fan base. It's just.
But the problem is when you lower that bar, now everyone thinks that their team are world beaters. It's false hope.
Yeah, guys, the bar isn't to make the playoff. It's to win the World Series. That's what we're looking at. All right, no one counts playoff berths. People count World Series wins. All right, how many World Series wins do the Yankees have? 27. How many playoff berths do they have? No one knows. You know why? Because no one cares about playoff berths. Everyone cares about World Series championships.
And look at this team right now. You got one good starter who's healthy. I mean, you got one good Webb. That's it. Harrison is kind of questionable right now because he's still young. Cobb is pitching off of one damn good leg. And then it's bullpens. And it's bullpens the rest of the time. You really expect this team to make a run when you got that type of we're talking about the Dodgers. You're saying that the Dodgers ain't going to make it because of pitching? Look at the Giants. They're right. They're literally a hip replacement away from the Dodgers.
On one leg. Alex Cobb on one leg.
There we go.
Come on.
I had some dude. Hey,
Alex Cobb.
I had some guy in Twitter last night telling me that the Giants have great pitchers. I said they have 2 pitchers. Anyway, we got into this, and he called. I figured out Twitter. I go. He goes, "You're old. You're just an old man." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I got a lot of my audience who's 40 and under, and many are 30 and under, are agreeing with me. And then he writes back, 40's young, like laughing out loud, like 40's. I go, what are you, some kid living in your mama's basement with no job? I said, then he told me he was 18 years old and he called me an effing bum. It's like, I said, okay, little punks. I just had to, I block him. I had to put Kawakami him.
I remember growing up in the 80s and the 90s, and when the Giants would win, get in the playoffs here and there, and then they would not win a World Series. I remember going to the team store and seeing shirts that said San Francisco Giants, National League West champions. And I said, I'm not buying that. Why the hell would I go around, especially when I travel, I go to out of town and I say, hey, look at my National League West champion flags.
I hate those shirts.
I said, I am not going to buy any shirt. I'll buy San Francisco Giants shirts that just say Giants or jerseys. But champions, I'm not buying NOS champions. I'm not buying wild card champions. I'm not buying National League champions. I'm only going to buy
World Series
World
champions. Yep,
that's right. The standard. That's the difference.
That's all that matters.
That's why
That's
get
exactly right.
I
don't want no National League.
Oh my God, we're going to make the playoffs. We're going to make the playoffs. Isn't that so great? And then we're going to get smoked. And I'm going to tell Los that we had a great year. No, dude, you didn't. Win a World Series. That's a great year. Up your game, man. Up your game. Talk to me about just making it. I never bought NL West division champion shirts. That's for people that settle.
Yep.
You don't have to buy and you know what? You don't have to buy a shirt in the NorCal Fantasy Sports League, Los. You're going to own 12th place. You're going to have the Kapler shirt walking around Oracle Park.
I think you're talking to the wrong person. You know who the
wait a minute. I am.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time. Talking about I know we're playing. You probably I'm talking smack here. You'll probably beat me.
Fantasy, you never know. You never know.
I may be cursed, man. I had anytime a defense gets 39 points, that's like ridiculous. Just unbelievable. Everything just went Dallas's way. I mean, they forced a lot of errors, but they also, man, that was bad. 39. It's just like, So anyway, but maybe we'll see. 12 games or 14 games, a lot to play. There you go, champions. There you go.
You're muted.
Who's muted? Los?
Los,
you're muted.
There we go.
There you go.
So this is the chronicle the day after they won their first championship. Very special to me. Cut it out, framed it, and it says, and I quote, "A franchise long blessed with talent, but lacking in titles, finally finds the right men for the moment, and they deliver. That's special. A championship. Ain't no NOS flags hanging in this office. Not at all. That's the standard. So if you guys want to be happy and get your thrills on just making it, that's you, man. That's not me."
Yep.
Can't do
Yep.
it.
Heroku, what? Week 1 in the books.
Boro, you will bounce back. Don't worry. Who do you play, Boro?
No, that's a great question. Is it up yet?
Yeah, it's all you got to do is advance it. You can see who it is.
Let's see.
Hey, Will B, you ain't lying, man. To win with 89 points, that's a pitcher's duel 1-0, man.
I'm playing Go Buck Yourself.
That's Will Martinez.
Okay. Good luck.
Uh-oh. You got a trade offer, and I don't got my. I'm gonna have to go.
Aaron Jones might not be playing though. That's the thing. What's the word on Rodgers? It's pretty certain he has a torn Achilles.
I guess the thing about it is I'm a little spoiled. You know, I got multiple championships with the Niners, with the Giants, and with the Warriors. So that's, you know, when you win that many championships and see that many parades in the Bay Area, like to just get excited at a barely 500 team, it just, and you know, I've been pretty honest. I think we all have. You know, we just don't like this front office. It's hard to like the team when you just don't like the manager and don't like Farhan, because you know, if they win, let's say they do make the playoffs, and let's say somehow they win in the first round, they knock off the Phillies or Cubs, and people are, oh shit, look at the Giants. You know that's going to lock up Farhan and Kapler here for another 5 to 6 years. Just, I don't know, man. I'm just being honest, guys. I just cannot stand those guys. The sooner they get out of town, the better. I want to see this team do some things and get back to just playing normal baseball without all the computer and analytics shit. Is that really what you want to see for the next 5 or 6 years? You'd rather have them make the playoffs and those two guys stay in the organization? Is that really what you want? If you had a gun to your head, that's what you want?
Yeah, would you rather them making the playoffs and losing in the first round for 5 years, or would you rather have them miss the playoffs this year, maybe miss the playoffs next year, but then in 2 years they win the World Series? I'd take the World Series.
Yep. Take a step back to go forward. Stop just being in the middle and settling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for all you fathers out there that have kids, just think about like your daughter or your son continuously like just settling for a partner, just settling, just never really going out for somebody, or settling for a job, maybe is a better analogy. Like they just settle for a okay paying job. I'm getting by, you know. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to do anything to improve myself so I can really make a lot of money, or in this case, win a championship. I just want to settle. I just want to be okay. Not very ambitious, man.
Where'd Dan go?
I have no idea.
Robert, that's a great question. You know what? I would be open to that. I don't necessarily dislike the man himself. I dislike the type of baseball that they like to play. I dislike the analytics and the platoon, and not going after superstar players that you need at least 4 or 5 of them in your lineup every day without all the lefty righty back and forth. So to answer your question, best question you've asked in a long time. Yeah, I would be open to that if he could change his mind. But here's the problem. Even if Kapler did want to go back to old school and the way the game should be played, his boss doesn't believe that. So as long as Farhan's here, it doesn't matter who the manager is going to be, because he's always going to be in his ear saying, this is how we play with the San Francisco Giants. Righty, lefty, righty, lefty. We're going to take out the better player, pinch hit somebody because he's left-handed. Not a fan of that type of baseball, but good question. Hope that answered it for you.
Yeah, I think I've probably said this before, but I would, if I had a preference between Farhan and Kapler, I would keep Kapler. I think Farhan's he's the root of the problems that the Giants have. Kapler contributes to that, but I think Kapler's taking a lot of orders. I don't think he's really being allowed to maybe manage the way he really wants to manage, because we saw the way he managed in Philadelphia. He didn't platoon at all. I think Farhan is really the one who's contributing to this heavy platoon and analytical style of the game.
Yep. And Bora has mentioned that before. That question's been asked before. But Kapler did not do this in Philadelphia.
Yep.
You missed a good rant, Dan.
Oh, who ranted?
No, me.
You?
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and listen. I went and brushed my teeth. Getting ready for bed.
See, that's how slow the show is. The Giants just won a September game with a walk-off. We should be jumping up and down and going nuts. And in the middle of his show, Dan went to go brush his teeth. That tells you how exciting he thinks the Giants are.
Well, I have the electric one. It's 3 minutes, and I was like, okay, I might as well just take a little break, go get that done.
Hey, they're talking about the Giants. Let me make it 5 minutes. Take your time, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan, before because I have to go pretty soon, but
yeah, we're closing this. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Unless
want
you guys
to
want to
tell?
keep going?
No. Do you want to tell everybody about the Ross Stripling? What happened today?
The fact that he said he hasn't played well enough to opt out, and that he's gonna be a Giant in 24. I think he's that's feels to me like get a little bit of leverage back.
Maybe.
Like, okay, you guys don't want me. I'm looking forward to being a Giant in 24.
Mm-hmm.
You better pitch me, or if you don't want to pitch me, I'll just come back. I haven't had a good enough season to opt out, and I'll come back.
Robert, I'm going to ask Dan your question that you want me to ask him. I think I know his answer. But while you were brushing your teeth, Dan, Robert asked me specifically if Kapler changed his tune and went back to old school baseball and stopped platooning as the manager, would you be okay with keeping him? I gave my answer, but he wants to hear your opinion. You too, Boro, and you too. Well, Eric, you answered that. You said, yeah, go ahead, Dan.
I don't care for a lot of his I would be okay with it in one sense, but I don't think well, first of all, I don't think he has the controls to do that. I think Farhan is the guy calling the shots. So I don't think he has a say in it. So I don't think it would work if Farhan's here. But even if it wasn't Farhan was gone, I still don't think Kapler is a guy that exudes like you said, the dugout, the celebration was dead. I think that's a reflection of a lot of what's going on in the clubhouse. So I just think you better get a guy in there that guys can rally around. I've watched baseball. What is that ding? Is that ding picking up in just my ear?
No, I hear it too.
No, I heard it.
Oh, wow.
A lot of sound effects.
Who's that?
Yeah. What the heck? So what I would say is get a guy. I've watched dugout celebrations. Almost every team, when there's a home run, they put a chain or a hat or some kind of symbol, and the players get excited. Giants just do the whatever. They don't look like a team that has – I know they have fun in the locker room when the steam and all that stuff, whatever they do. But I don't know. It just seems like a team that I've heard too much naysaying with Stripling, with Wood, with even Logan Webb when he got yanked earlier. The pitching staff seems to me like a separate unit than the rest of the team. And they feel to me like they are not a unified group with Kapler. So I personally wouldn't want him back. That's my feeling, but.
All right. Here's my answer is no, I don't want him. Just I would rather have him over Farhan, but I wouldn't, even if he was doing all the right things on the field. I don't think he's the long-term answer to help you win a World Series. And for that reason, if I don't need him sticking around here another year or two just to play chicken, and then eventually firing him or not renewing his contract, and then eventually hiring another manager. If you know he's not the guy, and I don't think he's the guy. I don't think he exudes leadership, confidence, or really anything for the guys in the locker room to get behind him and rally behind him. If you know that he's not the guy, I think you just got to move on. There's no reason to have him stick around for another year or two and go nowhere. Because he's a 500 manager. He's not a winning manager. He's not a losing manager. He's just a 500 manager. He's a stop holder. He's a 1 or 2 year manager when you've just fired your manager and when you have a horrible team to help get you back to 500, and then you eventually got to fire him and hire a manager who can take you over the hump. So no, I would not be in favor of keeping him.
Look at that, Will. I just fired you off a deal. Go ahead. You can have Josh.
That's the thing
Just
about
accept.
these 2 quarterback leagues, man. The talent, if somebody gets hurt, is not much there on waivers.
I got my deal done.
You got it done? He accepted?
For not quite the same, but similar.
Let's take a look in the transaction.
We have an official trade.
Yes, there's
We'll
an
announce
announcement.
this trade.
Who's going to announce it?
It hasn't showed up yet.
Yeah, it takes forever for it to show up. You want me to break it here first on
already
NorCal
making
Sports
a
Network?
trade after week 1.
Yep.
Let's see. We got it. Let's see if it's in the transactions. Nope, it's still not there. Not. What do we got? Break it. We got Adam. We got Adam Romo.
Here we
Adam
go.
Scheffler Romo.
Here we go. Breaking news. I traded.
Wait.
See, the enthusiasm just went up for a fantasy football trade. More than Giants baseball. I mean, what does that say? And they won today. God. Whew. Look at the excitement level.
Here it is. Let's hear it.
Here it is. The transaction that just took place was traded Rachaad White, running back,
Tampa Bay.
from Go Buck Yourself, Kyle Pitts, and DJ Moore. That is the deal.
He gave you Kyle Pitts and DJ Moore for Rachaad White?
Correct.
Who did that?
Go Buck Yourself. Will Martinez.
Who is that?
Will Martinez.
Will, damn, I thought you knew football better than that. Will? Damn,
He's
Rachaad White.
though. He
geez.
lost his RB1.
Rachaad White isn't an RB1. Sorry to tell you.
Rachaad
better
White
than-
is booty.
Yeah.
Hey, Rachaad White is Rachaad White is tier 4 with the Giants.
I'm not.
Will,
He's
you
a
could
tier
have
4
got.
running back.
Man, I gave you a better deal. I offered him Derrick Henry.
For who?
I wanted Diggs. And who did I offer? Let me look.
Rachaad White. Yeah, they're not going to stack the box with Baker Mayfield as your quarterback.
Eric, that's a great trade for you. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
We'll
good
see.
job,
I
Eric.
don't know. Well,
He
We'll
needed
have
a
to see.
quarterback, too. I offered him Jared Goff, Derrick Henry, Romeo Doubs, and Deion Jackson for C.J. Stroud, Stephon Diggs, and Joe Mixon.
holy crap. Well, that's 2 of his main wide receivers.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's 2 like top
Yeah.
5.
One, Diggs.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Mixon was the other, yeah.
Yeah, Mixon's pretty good in fantasy.
He also rejected
Dan asked for Diggs and Lamb.
on one deal.
There it is, Will Martinez.
On one deal. I also offered you Derrick Henry, Jared Goff, and Jalen Reed for Mixon, Diggs, and Russell Wilson.
Damn, Dan, it's only week 1, man.
Yeah, I'm a wheeler
Already
dealer,
blowing
man.
your team up?
It's a good team.
Who was that baseball GM that had a nickname of being a trader? Like he always traded. They called him Trader or something. Damn, what was his name?
Can't remember.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. My goal is to be Farhan Pickett, but I go for impact players, not
Will
not
Martinez. Would you be okay? Would you consider trading Diggs or Lamb at all, or are those two guys untouchable?
Aaron Rodgers Sr. says it's been dropped by 16,382 teams in Yahoo.
They'll wait to see what happens tomorrow before you drop. I wouldn't drop him until I knew.
Just to let everybody know, Tyreek Hill is on the trading block. You'll have to give me a good trade, good offer value, and you'll have to Venmo me $100.
I'll do that. I'll give you Ayuk for Hill and $100.
Will you?
Yeah.
Oh my God! You're gonna give real money up for this?
You can't do that. No. What?
No
shit! I may do that.
No
the whole league was $75. He's making 20.
I want to win it.
Great
600
player.
I'm a financial guy.
I'm putting that $100 into secure money too, and with a little extra bonus.
Oh man! Oh look, it's rigged. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Will B, would you be down to trade Zay
Relax,
Flowers?
we're just talking mess. We're just talking mess.
Dad's serious. Look, he's serious.
Dan is serious. I could probably get.
I got the chat all right.
Oh man!
Somebody said Dan doesn't want to wear the t-shirt. Don't even think twice. Do it, Los.
Oh my God!
Hey,
Will Martinez.
We got an auction going. Do I hear 120? 120? Anybody? 120? 140? 140? Bora? Want to give me 140 for Tyreek Hill and a receiver? 140?
I'll give you 140.
Oh, that's right. DJ Venus was in the league last year. I made horrible trades. DJ, I shot all the way up from last place into finish 5th because of my wheeling.
I'll give you 140 fob.
Unbelievable. Wait, where's Sean? Where's the commissioner?
I knew that would get a reaction. We had to pick up the pace a little bit here. It's looking like
Will
a
B,
cemetery in here.
did you check the trade out? Dan is colluding. No colluding. Once Los makes a trade, Tyreek Hill gets arrested in Miami.
Hey, I got inside information, Haruku. So, buy low,
all right, man.
Sell high.
All right. Hey, I've had enough tonight here. So, what do we got here? I got a text of who? Oh my goodness! What the heck is this? Did you send this, Eric, or is this from Senior?
Not from me.
Is that supposed to be Kai Correa looking like Kapler?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Look at that.
Unbelievable.
That kind of looks like Mike McDaniel.
Kind of glasses
Miami's
is Gabe
coat.
wearing? Oh gosh, I don't know.
Hey, Will says he declined.
I did that. I'm gonna have to decline. I have. Okay. All right.
Well, that was Will B.
Yeah, Will B.
Oh, okay.
You interested in a straight up, Will? Hurts for Allen?
Swapping quarterbacks?
May do that. Swap quarterbacks. Hurts for Allen. Let me know. I love Josh Allen. I'm not concerned about tonight because the Jets always play Josh Allen tough. Their defense is really good, the Jets.
Will's getting pissed.
Huh? Who?
This is tampering and illegal transaction going on in this league.
Well, maybe I'll fire another trade. Hey, Will, if you don't like the trade, make sure you just reject him. rather than you got to reject it in the either reject it, counter it, or accept it, because it prevents making deals with other deals in the, and everybody who is in the league, make sure you do that. If you don't like the deal,
Just reject it.
either counter it with another deal or reject it, but don't just let it sit there in infamy, because it screws up guys being able to make other deals if they want to. Forces, that's what happened last year in the Krug League. People don't do that.
Hey, Martinez, did your roster update? Because mine hasn't yet. Maybe it takes a while. Wait, does the commish have to approve it or something, or is it automatic?
Yes, he does.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it is. Pending. It's pending. It's trade will process this week.
Hey,
Woo.
Haru, would you be okay with trading Kamara? I like Kamara.
Oh,
Who are you talking to?
Haruku.
Oh, just send him the deal.
What? I want to see if he'll talk to me at least.
Hey, everybody's required to talk. If you don't accept,
me.
if you don't accept or do anything if you don't acknowledge it, you lose. It's a 20-point fine going into your ball game. 20 points, you're negative. I just tell the commish, set the minus 20 if you didn't accept the deal. So if you get 5 deals traded your way, minus 100. That's how this is a Banana Republic league.
Will says this channel needs a Friday or Saturday night draft show.
Hey, you know what this needs? This show needs to get the heck out of here for tonight. So
Yes, it does.
I'm out, everybody. Have a great one. We'll be back tomorrow night to discuss Giants, Cleveland Indians. And I did say Indians. Yep. So I'm an old school dude.
Indians and the Redskins.
Yep. Old school. So Tribe says I got Puka on waivers. He looks for real with Rams. What league's Tribe in? Must be his own league. He got him.
Yeah, he's not in ours.
We don't even have our waivers till tomorrow. He couldn't have got him unless he got him before he became available. He might have got him as a free agent. He meant.
I'm spending all my fab.
Haruku. All my fab. Fantasy, not draft. Okay. Cool. All right, guys. For Bora and Los D and Romo up in the right-hand corner there, controlling the board, as they say. We will see you tomorrow night after Giants.
Sean Mania taking the bump for a start.
Whoa, interesting.
How about that?
Sean
Supposedly.
Mania and his hair going against an American League team. Maybe we'll see. Can the Giants keep it rolling? 4 in a row? Can they make it 5? We'll find out tomorrow night. About 9:30. Probably tonight's game is late. 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Go Giants.
So let's go. There we go. Adios, or whatever you call it. Arrivederci. What the heck? What is it?
Chattare.
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 Arrivederci, or whatever. There you go.
See ya.